So here's the thing about Bachelor Nation, right? Just when you think the drama's cooling down, someone drops a wedding bombshell and franchise news that's got everyone talking, and honestly, I'm here for every second of it. We just got some fresh updates from one of our favorite Bachelor couples, and trust me, what they revealed about their wedding plans is actually pretty interesting, but wait until you hear what they said about the new Bachelor lead, because that take is definitely raising some eyebrows. Let me break this down for you because there's more layers to this than you'd think. First off, we've got this couple in the early stages of wedding planning, and I know what you're thinking. Early stages probably means they're just daydreaming about venues and cake flavors, right? But here's where it gets good. They're confirming they're actually doing this. They're making it official, and the excitement in their voices when they talk about it is genuinely infectious. Now, before you ask, no, there's no dress picked out yet, which honestly makes sense because dress shopping is like this whole emotional journey that deserves its own reality show episode, if we're being real here. But the fact that they're openly discussing these plans tells us something important about where they are in their relationship. And I think that's actually really refreshing in a franchise where we've seen so many couples flame out before they even get close to the altar. What really caught my attention, though, is how they're handling the whole thing. Because, let's be honest, Bachelor couples are under this insane microscope where every move gets analyzed and criticized, and yet here they are just vibing and taking it one step at a time without all the manufactured urgency we sometimes see. But hold on, because the conversation took a turn that I wasn't expecting, and this is where things get really interesting for Bachelor Nation fans. Taylor Frankie Paul, you know her from Mormon Wives? Well, apparently she's stepping into the Bachelor franchise as a lead, and the reaction from this couple was actually pretty revealing about what insiders think versus what the public might be feeling. They're excited, like genuinely pumped about it, and here's the key phrase they used. They think she's going to bring realness to the show. And that word realness is doing some heavy lifting here if you think about it. See, Taylor's never been in the Bachelor franchise before. She's coming from a completely different reality TV universe, and that's either going to be absolutely genius or a complete disaster. There's really no in-between with a move like this. What fascinates me is this idea that someone from Mormon Wives is going to shake up the Bachelor formula because, let's face it, that show is messy in ways that make Bachelor drama look like a church picnic. The fact that these Bachelor insiders are saying she'll be entertaining and real suggests they know something about what the franchise needs right now. And maybe what it needs is someone who isn't trying to play by the traditional Bachelor playbook. I personally think this could be a refresh the show desperately needs because, and I'm just keeping it real here, some recent seasons have felt a bit too produced, too calculated, like everyone's reading from the same script about finding love and being there for the right reasons. If Taylor brings that Mormon Wives energy where people actually say what they're thinking and don't hide behind the usual reality TV facades, that could change the entire vibe of the franchise. But there's also a risk, right? Because Bachelor fans are loyal and they have expectations about what a lead should be, and bringing in someone from outside that ecosystem could either revolutionize the show or alienate the core audience. The couple's enthusiasm, though, that's telling me the people who know the franchise best think this is going to work. And I'm cautiously optimistic about it because, honestly, we need something different, something that breaks the mold a little bit. Now, let's talk about their holiday plans, because even though this seems like a throwaway detail, it actually reveals something pretty cool about how they're managing their relationship. They're doing the classic switch routine, Thanksgiving with one family, Christmas with the other, then presumably flipping it the next year. And look, that might sound boring to you, but as someone who has seen Bachelor couples struggle with family dynamics and integrating their lives, this is actually a green flag. It shows they're thinking long term, they're being fair to both families, and they're not letting the pressure of being a public couple mess with their personal traditions. There's something really grounded about that approach, especially when you consider that they could easily be jetting off to some sponsored tropical vacation and posting about it for engagement, but instead they're just doing normal family stuff, and I think that's why people connect with them. Their 2026 goals are pretty straightforward. More wedding planning, which tracks because these things take time, and they are clearly not rushing into anything just to satisfy public curiosity or maintain relevance. What I appreciate about this whole update is that it feels authentic. Like they're not trying to manufacture storylines or create drama where there isn't any. They're just living their lives and letting us peek in occasionally, which, honestly, is the healthiest approach to Bachelor fame I've seen in a while. The contrast between their steady, drama-free progression and the chaos that often surrounds Bachelor couples is actually pretty stark, and it makes you wonder if maybe the secret to making it work post-show is to just keep things simple and focus on each other rather than the spotlight. As we look ahead to what's coming in Bachelor Nation, with Taylor potentially shaking things up and couples like this one showing us that real relationships can survive the franchise machine, I'm actually feeling pretty good about where things are headed. The franchise has been around long enough now that we're seeing different models of success, different ways to handle the fame, and different types of leads who might bring something fresh to the table. Whether Taylor Frankie Paul becomes the groundbreaking lead everyone's hoping for, or whether this couple makes it down the aisle and proves the skeptics wrong, one thing's for sure. Bachelor Nation never runs out of stories to tell, and honestly, I'm not complaining, because this is exactly the kind of content that keeps us coming back season after season, wondering who's going to find love, who's going to crash and burn, and who's going to surprise us all by actually making it work in the real world after the cameras stop rolling.